Some consider it now or never. High-stakes talks on a ceasefire and hostage release deal now underway, perhaps hinging on their success or failure, a looming Iranian threat to attack Israel. There's a lot on the table. Chad Robichaux is a former Force Recon Marine and founder of the Mighty Oaks Foundation. Chad's good to have you on here. Just want to let you know the White House is reporting right now out of Doha, Qatar, the talks aimed at this have resumed, and they're likely to run into Friday. Knowing that Hamas is there, what's your measure of optimism for this working out?
I don't have any optimism. I mean, you have the White House, who's reporting this, by the way, not showing strength, and this happened because of our White House and a weak administration, and this is prolonging because of it. We have American hostages there, by the way, as well, not just the Israeli hostages, and we have not exercised our leverage and our strength. The United States has the strongest leverage in the world over the situation through Iran. We have not leveraged that, and you have the vice president when Netanyahu comes to the United States, being snubbed by the vice president to go to a sorority meeting. So, I mean, we haven't shown strength. We haven't showed true alliance to Israel in this, and we haven't stood up for our own hostages. So it really steals any optimism that I would have from the situation.
I guess the thing I think about, Chad, is that Hamas has said, get the IDF out of Gaza or there is no peace. Get the IDF out of Gaza and there is no hostage deal. I mean, if that's the first card you're putting on the table, what's going to give?
Well, I mean, the IDF will not leave Gaza. They should not leave Gaza. Hamas is a terrorist group, and they have to. Israel has to make a stand here. I mean, they're alone, surrounded by their enemies, and they're alone, and they have to make a stand. If they don't make a stand, then Hamas isn't going to stop at Gaza. I mean, they didn't in October, so they have to make a stand. But they need the world to come around them and make that stand. And everyone that's confused in this, and young people listening that are walking around Palestine flags and protesting. Look, the question is simple in this: if the IDF and Israel laid down their guns, what would happen? There would be the annihilation of the Israeli people. If Hamas laid down their guns, what would happen? There'd be peace. So if you're looking for a position on this, that should answer it right there.
Well, but you wonder just how desperate the White House. You're going to have a convention next week in Chicago, and things could get ugly outside. You just wonder whether or not you get at some sort of ceasefire and sort of relax the tensions to Chicago. We'll see how that goes. Israel, meanwhile, is under the threat of Iran. General Ryder from the Pentagon was on with Neil yesterday afternoon and said this about the potential for a strike out of Tehran.
From a DoD standpoint right now, our focus is on ensuring that we can defend Israel if it is attacked and ensure that our forces have the firepower they need to be protected themselves. I'm not going to, again, speculate on what they may do. We know what they've said publicly, and we know that they've indicated that they will retaliate. So we've got to take that extremely seriously.
I know what your view is, Chad, on this, but the new president of Iran had a 30-minute conversation with the new prime minister of England. Out of the UK. That doesn't happen very often. What's your view?
Well, look, Iran has always raised the red flag of death and flexed their chest and said they were going to do something like this. And usually they back down. However, this is one scenario that I'm most concerned about, because I feel like they have a few-month window that they could actually do something without true retaliation from the United States. And they know the weakness of the White House, and if there's ever a time to act, it would be now. So I am concerned, and I think everyone should be concerned. I'm happy to hear the White House spokesman say that, but I hope those words are backed up with actions.
We're watching it by the hour. Chad, while I have you here, I know you were quite active in Afghanistan, and we got some video here from a Taliban parade using our own MRAPs and our own military gear outside of Kabul, and something else to see. I mean, we left so much gear behind and helicopters rolling on. And 3 years on, how do you look at this now?
This turns my stomach because, myself and other NGOs, we had to go to Afghanistan to withdraw. The White House made a decision to abandon the most strategic place in the globe, Bagram Air Base, which is where that parade's being held, between Iraq, Iran, Russia, and China, give it to our enemies, leave $80 billion in equipment behind, which they're parading around on, leave Americans there, leave our allies there, leave our the world global security on that battlefield, and leave 20 million women and little girls to be sexually enslaved by the Taliban. And on that parade deck, I don't know if you guys know this, but on that parade deck, the diplomats that are there are from China and from Iran. And in the middle of all this, we're still spending $87 million a week, half of it in cash, to be going to the residences of people who are in the FBI's top 10 most wanted list, to trust them to be doing counterterrorism in Afghanistan. And by the way, it's not working, clearly. They've added another 48 al-Qaeda training camps with the money that we're sending them.
Jeff, thanks for coming on. And thanks for your service and your time serving there. We'll hope for the best.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.